Next time on Philosophy Talk, the philosophy of John Locke.
John Locke was a philosopher of freedom. He argued against the divine right of kings and for government by the consent of the governed.
His ideas inspired the Declaration of Independence and were a main influence on the U.S. Constitution.
He was an actor on the stage of history himself.
Exiled in Holland, he returned to England with William and Mary and the Glorious Revolution.
John Locke, next time on Philosophy Talk.
Locke's an English philosopher, mostly of the 17th century. He actually died in 1704.
Locke has a very strange theory of self.
British philosopher John Locke was born on August 29, 1632, in the county of Somerset, England. After attending schools in London and Oxford, he received his Masters of Arts from the prestigious Christ College.
Part what John Locke is doing is applying his broader abstract philosophical theory to questions of education, but he's also arguing for a new approach to education, one that is more in fitting with the emerging kind of society that he sees England as going into.
In Some Thoughts Concerning Education, John Locke presents his views on the field of education and how these thoughts present children as humans capable of reasoning. He mentions once again that the mind is born as a tabula rasa, and how this blank slate of a mind needs to be molded and formed through teaching. According to Locke, I think I may say that of all the men we meet with, 9 parts of 10 are what they are, good or evil, useful or not, by their education. Locke's second idea is that of virtue in reasoning. Locke emphasizes that the main object of education is teaching children how to reason, rather than merely presenting and processing information. This emphasis on reasoning is taught today as critical thinking skills. Locke also believed that it is the educator's responsibility to instruct children in developing habits to be virtuous. In Locke's eyes, being virtuous meant that one would be able to think critically, and learn to deny himself something that he desired, but did not actually need.
Today, we're going to talk about Benjamin Franklin.
American founding father, scientist, inventor, activist, statesman, diplomat, and author. They don't come much greater than Benjamin Franklin. Born in Boston in 1706, Franklin was schooled until the age of 10, when he went to work first for his father, then as an apprentice in his brother James's printing business. At 17, Franklin ran away to Philadelphia after it was discovered that he was the writer behind a series of controversial letters published in his brother's newspaper, the New England Courant. He continued to work as a printer, and by 1730, he was publishing his own newspaper, the Pennsylvania Gazette. Interestingly, Franklin designed the continental currency issued by Congress. His image is now enshrined on the U.S. $100 bill.
Ben made a group of friends who also liked to read. Books cost a lot of money to buy, and there were no libraries, so Ben and his friends started their own library, sharing books. They would share the books they read, and they would meet together to talk about what they had read. Later in his life, Ben would help start some of the first libraries in America, because he knew reading and learning were so important. He also helped start some of the first colleges in America. From his newspaper and his inventions in writing about science, Ben Franklin became very well known in America and Europe. When many Americans started disagreeing with England about taxes, Ben was on the side of the Americans who wanted change.